Hello everyone. Welcome to High Life Radio. Sikasem and Edebro no Patrick Befi and topics from Kwan was here can wasem. In them say tax season edru. TNA can taxes wasem. And when I make our baby say this month and beyond. I could see maybe February there. Beka tax be next week so you high beka tax wasem. When you first prepare taxes. When you first agada niyama and the air so ne ɛbɛka ho asɛm again High Life Radio sikasɛm ɛna wotie no Patrick Befi your host and that topic no yɛbɛka afa how the big beautiful bill changed tax write-off for individuals. How the big beautiful bill changed tax write-off for individuals. And then yɛka ho asɛm. Before say best start, every Wednesday, so a paradigm shift. We talk more about more any different information now. Omutimi edin yama tutu yi wo makwan edin komo. Say opese unya utiminya live show every Wednesday. You will have 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. About 9 p.m. GMT. Subscribe to Patrick Befi YouTube channel now. We'll be at that live show and so. Hey. By an idea, and every Monday be as you ha, ye sikasem ho adwuma. Nim say sikasem no, yentimi fa NC or say the BI can ho asem or say the BI bo hu de ru. Because you say nipa bebre di nim ene de bobra. Di say sikasem no to ya na say the unim no, em say and 2 years ti da me say also ultimate change no, better ultimate change no constantly say utie financial education. That's all educate you on the Bamna and Jaka that the Biego so ayeka. So this is the kind of tax soon drew how the big beautiful bill changed tax write-off for individuals and that year can once. So uti soon I say question be ultimately to chat and with the chat ma even though make a sad year, may try some answer amount sana you move on. Before you best starting, I would like you to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Jumadi didn't say offer. And then say the more we'll like it, the more I will share. No, and my that top, algorithm push up and say be a month for so. It means if you say be a boy, say boy crofwa. Boy me yes, a dear bit in the man. Knowledge people on my share or hanma a month for 2 years and share them all for free. The only thing I bit me and say. Be like it, no share. Na also ama obi afoforo bi no mo so omotimi ahwe omusika semye no mo de atoto ye. So how the big beautiful bill changed tax write-off for individuals. And then you become one simple you become taxes, different things about taxes coming up and as coming weeks. So see a especially if tax a part of building wealth. In your PCD, say will be D, no, any of T and a steps, a process, a systems. Now, baby, we brew honma or medium tax at 2 years. The countries be brew honma, medium tax at 2 years, tax them any day at the year. Yana tax a part of world building. It didn't because it's all about how much you can keep. Because Indian say, especially when say America, was Kanunya Uncle Sam and Sadaso. Quite not between first summer Uncle Sam in free. So you see tax books net to say kakraka 4,800 pages, the last one we had him send a pages necessity by so and so she mark a crab no just free or most of them no legally with me for coin be so usika be brew with me keep. If any nipa be bria omo mu die usika mu most of them na din any bebre ni ade open akra yin so aye bi da omu nyina no legally bebre fa kwan bi so a omu ntimi ntua tax enti ye de na ma ne basa because there's the process a wo ho a e betimi aboa amu keep say if you follow that process now In same be on my in drew home, and you see this drew on quantity bit me keep more of our money. The good thing is recently there was a bill passed. That bill no brought a lot of say write-offs. Like this coming tax year started free. This your friend saying this 2026 season, you know. But before them, I mean started with class. You can say there's a confusion when it comes to tax season. And your friend said tax year now. The tax year no, the 12-month period now we year Juman when any that income no. Now I say when care expenses. We record that relevant that financial activity be happy and that tax year. No. It's this year. So you can say the tax year we are referring to 2025. The happy in you can tax season now. Time I file that tax no, which is 2026. It's tax season of 2026 no. You be filing the year of 2025. And it may you confuse be. That is how tax next year. It's the tax season no. The time now you filing. And for example, during the 2026 tax season, that means a January to April, usually tax time in the April, somewhere 15th or 16th, 15th, usually April. It is that season, January to April 2026. You better file it tax return for 2025 tax year, which is the January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025. It is your tax season. That means that you be file tax for the 2026. Hey. Welcome everyone. Andy, welcome. Welcome. Will be our question beyond the two try to answer as I'm going. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Okay. So the tax season, the 2026 no. The tax year Jumano, year na Jumano, and only the tax season. Hey, that's it. Now the difference there are so many things we will see once. Say be a cost be man easy amount. One, deduction, standard deduction, and itemize. Standard deduction, you don't have to do anything. The government in him say you go through so many expenses. Your day-to-day nyama ye money adinti ye or my bibi betimi afa say what the better work so. Nti we adwuma kakra ultimate so adwuma wo ye no saa deduction e de be ma no so na afei no and as itemize say bia office say scan e de ma government dia ma obia no office say wo de nyama wo expenses ni nyama wo ye na bro so a na ultimate itemize. That means say wo de saa wo nyama to a receipt a wo keep ni ade no on fa the government de ma no because e bro so ultimate use no because offer no anese wasisi wo ho and ultimate use no. So the standard deduction, itemized deduction, to whom say make the tax season, the tax year na any man a per se. So individual friends, and these are some of the things I will see. Tax, like I said, it's trust strategy. One, also your friend is saying, bracket a two, the category. Because in the found this university, you see make schedule and found what category be or falling in, it will more jumami treka, it will be on auto investment or no, it will be also a talk other things, real estate in this and it will be also a talk, those will be our baby or and then nano, the entire categories will say, Nini Nana tax near pay. Patrick solution, your friend said Patrick Bear for YouTube channel, I said I be bria fasa tax, categories I also and tax so it's all about try so be keep more about your taxable income. So to me reduce your taxable income no more. That means a tax be free one corner form. These are the things I will see you. Sunny started. Now, individual tax filer and our filers no individual taxpayers right now no. It may issue huge new tax write-offs. I started 2025. And all thanks to the so-called, the new tax bill, by my friend, the big beautiful bill. Open at the bill, can I say big beautiful bill? Hey, I'm talking of deductions. The IRS is begging us. Anyway, before this, no crowd, deductions are the IRS begging us to take advantage of. Yet millions of Americans leave this money on the table. Why? And yes, because he qualify, because it's simple, you may see out. We don't know. There are so many people who try say go on tax na say themselves, and that's will be nipa de man and nipa crunch than tax na see it. We leave these things on the table. And these are, you know, I'm talking of these write-offs. So this show, and I say, anyway, you be break it down, 11 things and new or updated write-offs are, you be to me use to keep most of Sikai. And these are the same tax write-offs are me use to my clients or Patrick Solutions. It is all you will be a we need your friend is saying tax preparer and CP with me Patrick Solutions.com. I'll be near me at me taxes amount. And that's all free 703-981-1910. You bet me about my taxes. The same thing I'm ever become once no benefits I'll be now with those things. The same thing I'm using my clients. Hey, either WhatsApp or your friend is saying a regular call, free 703-981-1910. I'm yet me aboard. And that's patricksolutions.com. And that's the email patricksolutions@gmail.com. It means started. So let's start with the one that a month will be brainy. I mean, some of these are I'm not so enthusiastic about them, but some of them. Why we will be a team be start to see a can we say the reason why some of them are mean by all no, it depends on sending situations here. The first one is the new auto interest deduction, another new auto loan interest deduction. You see, starting 2025 now, interest on brand new cars loans no. Yes, right. I'm right here no. That's personal auto loans no. Now a BBI untimi fa undeducted that. Now starting 2025, bit me deducted that interest no. And now it's on the table. And then they say what table crowd, it's above the line. And you can't above the line in tax, you can't above the line, meaning say you can take it even if offer standard deduction. Now remember, Sister make say it was standard deduction and your itemized deduction. So Nema Utria, if you say more than the standard deduction now, IRS the MI and as a government the MI now. And that's a Nema Waye, if you say so offer the itemized one. But with the and offer itemized one now, won't me and Fabi being free baby make. But this is over the line, which means say even we standard deduction crana, we be take that deduction. So we a new car, it has to be a new car, a brand new car. We know what so we a friend say first person we use to car. And he emphasizes we make an example. Say me 30,000 car payment, my car, my finance car 30,000, with your interest rate of 6%. Usually no, we pay about 1,007 on interest alone for the first year. Now, no, sir, 1,007 make me writing off. Yes, it is a 5-year thing. That means I can write this off for almost about 8,000. Make me writing off for all that year, every year beyond 7,007 year they make me that in now free. So your friends say 30,000 interest na babe to 30,000 or so. Car no say brand new. So it must be the first person now who only that car no. And I will say a personal. Now assembly no, because it was stipulations on home. That means I will see a United States as if you assemble the final assembly should be in the United States. So people who now we will be a brand new car 2025 fee. That's what people who are your friend is saying sticker no who usually never a bet show baby. And I said with the I'm afraid be NATSA V code no, and also a bit me actual. A bit me actual. And he in front say and I will limit so income 100,000 below or qualify a single filer income, and I say couple, married couple, move file it together a 200 I'll qualify. So we'll do those things in this one won't qualify. Now making sure so we keep receipts, loan receipts and statement. Or gonna do this and that's an man I had to find these days, those things now are online. And you know why? Because it be a near beam. But this opportunity and that's advantage benefits na all the way up to 2028. You know, say auto 2025, auto 2000, auto car 2025. Yeah, now fully within the year can you take advantage of it just like that, quick. Okay. All right. So next up, the standard deduction just got bigger. Standard deduction and I make one this year. A cost row. It means what? More free income in a big pocketing. So far, 2025, it jumps up to 15,750. I think it was 14,214 something on last year. Now it's 15,750 for single filer. We are joint married, couple are more filing together at 31,500. You don't have to do anything. So we'll take it the standard deduction now. We'll make it 100,000. We are single filer. We'll take it that standard deduction now. Boom. With taxable income. Yen tax was 100,000 or so. Now, or tax best start here from what? 84,000. And I say, yeah, 84 something because let me see. Yeah, almost be 84,000. Near better tax. You see, 2 years single, and that's roughly be 15,000 a free taxable income. So between say about 3,000 right away over there. Oh, shielded about 3,000 of taxes right there. So that this standard deduction don't have to do anything so far. Why? But you can always itemize. So they can say, why itemize no office and near our year and our expenses be our year qualify for you to itemize and that's a qualify for you to deduct. Wait me take that wait me go through that route. I remember, so I'll go through that route. So I need that's that time now. Yeah, IRS come after you, making sure say be our itemize your own information or receipts was animal say a bar. The two are now the eye. But you see, the whole thing is most people, especially renters or those in the lower states, the lower income states, lower tax states, almost here itemize. Most of them, almost take standard deduction. Actually, because a better deal when we look into that. In fact, about 85% of taxpayers are expecting your friend standard deduction in 2025 because most people whatever near cost so expenses necessarily money is way below half of the standard deduction. So the standard deduction becomes your friend said the best deal. Yes, the next one I become but if you live in a higher tax state, the next write-off could save you thousands, and that's the new SALT deduction. It just got quadruple. A quadruple SALT deduction. All right, this is SALT in there. SALT, state and local tax deductions. Yes. Most states, if you want to tax, but most tax almost tax so high. This benefit very in the past, this money now you can only deduct 10,000 in combining everything. 10,000. But now, right now, when it comes to your property tax, your state income tax, or sales tax, those things will be deducting from your local and state. The only amount and now be to me in the past a deductor was 10,000. Now a quadruple, I call 40,000. Hear me out here. So a bit 2029. So it's from 2025 through 2029. A cap so they kind of risk of 40,000. And for example, say a property tax, in fact, say mid-dine, me fee tax and me so na 15,000. And I mean state income tax because it is so high, no, so me tria say 20,000. Now, no, first, no, now committee me deduct only 10,000. That means 25,000 is out. Now you can deduct 40,000. So that means now me deduct 35,000 instead of that cap na 10,000. You see, I hear bigger because now extra 25,000 now become. Remember, a deduction. A deduction is all about what? Your taxable income. The more taxable income, the more I'll keep more money in your pocket. Imagine say one, we're making 100,000. Now, when you're 15,700, right away, you know, you're about to tax 84,000. Why am I 3,000? Now, who state a high, the friends tax, or more tax here high. It property tax was 15,000. Other, you know, state income tax, you can home 20,000. Now we say as at me at 35,000 of this amount. It's all about, you know, taxable income, baby. Now see from 25,000, 84,000. Now you are dropping about up to what is it? About 60 something thousand, say 59,000 or so. That can, you know, real tax saving dependent with me at between 5 to 8,000 or 25,000. Remember, it's deduction. By your deduction, your credit, you know, tax credit, actual money. Deduction, reduce your taxable income. So this here, no. Now, if you maybe also care about the tax or credit, see, you'll be also a bracket to home. You really become bracket in one. It based on your tax bracket now. You bet me say we pay 5,000 or 8,000 on that 35,000 now. Ultimately free or taxable incomes. So now it's especially helpful for said dynamic states like California, New York, you know, New Jersey, Illinois. Those states now more tax, especially more property tax, and I say more tax state income tax. No, what was true. But we if you see out, we make it 500,000 now. In taxes, you can say if you see out, that means say so make income due a certain portion be that thing doesn't apply to you anymore. And that income we know 40,000 now be for salt, no. If you see out, we make 500,000 income. But to say the kind, call back to 20, circle back to 10,000, 2030. So make sure say who you sue while you last. Yes, make sure because hey, because yes, I know near government because government intimidate all the time. No find we be able back. It might break a crack as much as you can. So these are the reason why we say DNT higher this easy so I between file taxes. These are some of the things that you leave it on the table. That's why you need Patriot Solution to help you to be able to file your taxes. Bibia hidden betimi a year bro. I will qualify the legally no betimi aboa. Another powerful update involves charitable giving. You see, charitable giving. Say who donated to qualify non-profit like a church. I'm talking of qualify. Hey, people will stress on your non-profit, and yet can't change be look, your church, local so church qualified that or register as a friend saying non-profit. Hey, and I say local food bank be, and I say community organization be. You now have flexibility. So bit me a claim it's not like but first not flexibility yet, sir. You have to provide so many things. Son with me, now Yamana is very flexible. Starting 2026 now, the season, the year near 2025 now. Two things may change. First, only donation that exceed half of or and a half percentage of your income no, they go towards and that's a count towards your deduction total, right? And another one, the second one is start changing. If we take a standard deduction, you can still claim up to $1,000 as a filer, single filer. So we a married couple, I'm file together with me claim 2,000. The time because a married couple more file together and say, yes, oh, I know now can file it as marriage separator. Unsabeka 2,000, unsan kasa 2,000. How about back to the 1,000? And no, in that situation where a single filer, in say be out there, will become one of these. I know about your friend is saying, head of household. But so we a single will be 1,000 up to this charitable thing I can. And the good thing is that said this in the past, and I in the past no, na say o file we use standard deduction. That's how we call. But this time, utimi as a your friend saying what file we cry utimi itemize this benefit. It ubetimi write before no so no you have to provide so many things. Now one man is very simple ubetimi. But remember your receipts and those things no there you have to make sure say keep these days most of these things will be online to be print them, then you keep them anytime you are asked you have those information. Okay. Okay, the next one, which is the fifth one, a tax write-off. If you own a home, you'll be glad to hear this. You see, the mortgage interest, they're in a permanent now. But may deduct interest all the way up to 750,000 of mortgage debt from your primary or secondary residence. Now, no, you're locking at a permanent. So in the past, now I say sometimes sometimes now am I in a permanent. The good thing is now bet me deduct mortgage points. You see, a top down sometimes you buy out the points. No, now you can deduct all those points. No private mortgage insurance bet me deduct it. And interest on home equity loans with the year renovations. Now you can also deduct that. This year you'll be a kind. So one try. One for near to 2 years. Now went to me as much as you can. Now are been a kind. You see, this is the reason why here say ubinya tax preparer and CP. I'll bet the tax year no bit me at show near my bit a because some of us no never be run my already no your tax season already. I'm prepared towards it. It's never be run into me because you're unprepared. It be also any bit me sabit miaka. But you have to know, say, be prepared in the process through the year. No, niyama be do betutu ye. But they also kind of say, untimi and deduct principal payment for your home for homeowners and the intimate insurance. Untimi principal payment for homeowners and the untimi. But this deduction, imagine say now points will be deducted. Say resident now. Primary and secondary home crowd will be deduct more. It will reduce. Remember, a deduction, it will reduce your income, taxable income, way down. You see, you see, so what Sani Moya Yabobo Swabidru Hanma. Now making 100,000 crowd. Now say taxable income and a baby 40,000 up to now. You be a year cost. It you bet me a year to a point so I have been baby crano. Now she knew what maybe crana. Depending on your situation, you will be able to carry for it the next year. You see, so that's the reason why he say all the time. No, you have to know this. You have to know what to do. I understand. And you Juma, but I was so near the right people. I bet sure that information. I'm with me a day alcohol. So next one. Next one. Does it apply to new cars bought in 2022? And if you say the tax credit, the tax your friend is saying, loan, no, for 2025, starting from 2025, and if you see out 2028, it's handy. Yeah, sorry, 2022 car, no, I am qualified. Say yes. So what question be out to me? Answer as we are going. Question be out So the next one, let's talk about sensitive opportunities, and that is the solar energy tax credit. It's so sad that then, and December 31st, 2025, that solar energy So in the past, amanfoɔ use bebree. Na amanfoɔ fi sɛ bia panels nko ara na wotumi use ma nneɛma bebree. Tete biara na meka sɛ ɛyɛ good sɛ wobɛhu saa nneɛma no nyinaa. But most people no a wɔn file for themselves, wɔn nim saa nneɛma nyinaa. Nipa bebree are missing out on these energy solar energy tax credit no, because nyɛ panel no nko ara sɛ wɔde solar no gu so nko ara. Nneɛma bebree a wɔchange wɔ fie when it comes to saa nneɛma na ɛtumi boa. So this ABBA you can claim 30% of that total tax system. What the difference is solar panel you know, and that's a water heaters. You know, remember water heater and yet solar panel by ubetimi change ubetimi take any credit your friend saying deduct those things. You know, battery systems are and I'll be installed before December 2025. Now we need the last year we cried the MCB year through because first then they will more. So imagine say we install panels for 2025 28,000 you know systems that means say when you pay 8,400 it reduce. So imagine it's 300,000 now you're 10 and baby almost be 40 something what's about 84,000 account. See, as we go in I will name Sanyama we why you hold you mother than was all of a sudden we say it will be an anchor ebia nanka obetimi no kra last year nanka wetimi agyen sisi wentimi anyi when this year wonya hwe wo ho you see a baby do this stage we will be a team because probably the reason why because some of them are many nche ho even do ebeboa no ebi bibi say we say sometimes ebi mo ho because obi opese wonya we ntimi force no na wetimi akwakoye because ebi kra na ne ho nya nso ebi kra na obetimi atwa nso no they took a castle because obenya this free the same as car loans no because of that into force. So if you are due for a car, car fine. Especially people will be on you two new cars because they took us. But see a two new car, near car, get two new car. You know, and so people that are winning with money, you know, a lot of them man start with new cars. You see average millionaire in the United States, they don't use new cars, use slightly used cars. You know, so say try say build it finances here, you have to go away with them. But because of this, no, a money probably a force so a bra here. So another one that that stays input in the student loan and teachers deductions. No, you see, so we need probably remix our student loan and especially the teacher deductions. No? You see, you can still deduct 2,500 in student loans interest from qualified education expenses like tuition, books. Is still that state is still there. It stayed in place. It stayed put. It's still there. 2,500. But remember, the phase out started from 75,000 of income. That's joint or filing separator as a single. By or filing as a joint married at 155,000. Na face out face it will make it we a single person who making 100,000 I'm sorry 2,005 no untum hey and as a couple now make it 200,000 make it 160,000 untum hey these are what's say face out and said they kind face out means that what make money do baby bia sa benefits no untum the baby amount for me say teachers can still hey, teachers, your friends saying, Sika almost spending about, teachers, we know they love our kids almost trauma. Sometimes, it come out of their pockets. The maybe all money so to me, deducted that one. A 250, to be auto materials, be a water, if you on the pocket more, they book school for no, and that's what they book school, no money to me, those things will be to me, it's still. BBB claim like books, supplies, maybe a software we use so those things or records are bit me. It's simple, automatic, but it will be brave MSA out. A 250 for a single. So both couple we teachers are a 500. We'll be keep with that also. So these are some of the things that it just in fact. So we teacher now team here. Teacher Nibia or small supplies. Good for you, really crack me a better those are all money now. So if you have the right things now, I say yeah, we qualify for it. Now, another big one win service workers. We a big one, service workers, and that's the new tip income deduction. You see, 2025 through 2028. Some of these are a BB government capa until I'm making sure say 2025 to 20 short period not at the free. So make sure say so qualify, you have to enjoy it. Take those benefits whilst it lasts. See, workers, our any tips will be deducted up to 25,000 of that income. Yes, 25,000. So imagine, now making 100,000. Now start 25. See, this is a deal with so when him say we na bed what me Patri Solutions near more it me file with taxes. That be qualify for benefit biana qualify for no sabeka. Include what? Service. Bartenders, we love our service. You could do the restaurant almost every come at tipuomo, bartenders, you call bar, you taught me a tipuomo. So those people, most days, and since I change, they not even pay them minimum wage. It $2.50 or say. So they live on tips. The amount for more tips and normally live on. Delivery drivers, the Amazon about two anymore on a taper. Those things, if you want more. A paid one, if you also are what the fat your friend is saying, what the fat there's a card so man. Those one money now they can deduct that, hairstylists. Sacrificing more baby also, umbetimiate. And the infant said, me any 40,000 in the base, me base pay no. Nasa me tips 30,000. Normally, no, you can't mean no boom, you can't mean no boom, 70,000. So now my tax, the standard deduction, be na me me standard deduction for my now, no, and I say the tax is going to be based on the 70,000. As I say, and this I be, say tips 30,000. Now make me reduce that 30,000 all the way to 25,000. It may tax able income. The best start here free 45,000. You see, it's all about how much you can keep. The more your taxable income goes down, the more money you keep in your pocket. That is potential thousands of dollars in savings for you in that year. Remember, if you see out 2028, benefit if you fall into this benefit, try so bit me make it. But making sure, my people, making sure set tips are reported properly. And yes, I'm a call me $100. No, I report to $2. No, so one reporting properly, you cannot deduct it. Make sure, because tax tips are yen declare and qualify for this one. And qualify. So speaking of workers, there's also a brand new deduction for overtime. Yes, for overtime. You see, the same way that phase out on 2028, from 2025 to 2028. But you deduct the premium portion of your overtime wages. See, basically, the extra, your friend saying, extra money above your normal rate. It say we make $20 an hour. Indian so make $20 an hour. Most companies pay a time and a half on overtime. That means that we overtime will be paid about $30 for overtime. So that extra $10 per hour is deductible. And yet $30 now, the extra $10 net that's on is deductible. So what I say, hey, that extra $30 no, the friend saying the limit I will be to deduct a 12,500 as a single filer, 25,000, a whopping 25,000 for married couples. You see, this was designed to help people and I say industries are overtime here very more. In industries, be overtime here more. You know, this industries no, it be a juma more brepa. You see, especially we talk about healthcare. Young for nurses, for example, the nurses a job will be almost bread a lot, but they don't make a lot. To make 100,000 in nursing, it was say make it overtime, and some will make 100,000. The thing is, I was no. Then found this in the city be a debi ejuma ho. It's a very bibi a very nice. But we make it skake say. It no. Usha ye proud mo pa. Ye gin a time and a half na. All boy nipa mo survive ni adin na no. Na saa sika ni na no. Yes, I attend a task here also. So this was designed for such people. You know, no manufacturers so logistics no. Then what they also make sure they say, when employer or report to separately your regular any overtime. So I report to your friend is saying W2 so and that's what pay stubs so untimi any. It make very sure say that 10 air reflected. Remember W2 no our mode brown the same thing on my Harris. So we need to say now file sana this is very good and this brand new be fade out 2028. So which in probably special nurses or move this is the time when my abuan with me and back. But can be make sure say it's reported accordingly. As I want some and can say scan to make sure so could those things. So do you qualify for that if your annual is below 70K? I'm so which one? Do I mean say overtime and I said tips now can fatu na me which one I can yeah yo it's for those ones and I'm say the phase out I think it's from 150 I believe 150 yeah 130 something like that I can't find it. Yeah, there's a phase out on that but most people know ever qualify because I think it's 150 or so. I'll get it for you before we go. Meaning say you know kind of tips overtime no. I'm saying na ADC. All right. So next one. Now for retirees, you know, pops and moms, you know, seniors. So now there's a new bonus for seniors. If who was 65 or older, automatically you qualify for additional 6,000. We had nothing to do with the standard deduction. Into a single bit may deduct 6,000 apart from standard deduction, apart from other deduction. We are 65 now. Just because you are 65 and above, you don't have to do anything. The couple 12,000, move file it together, and you're separate, move file it together, 12,000. They apply from 2025 and 2028. Most of these things now, they say. Why is it ending? Because it costs government a lot of money. It costs the government a lot of money. You're talking of the student loan. Do you qualify for that if your annual is below? Yes, you qualify. I think the student loan, it starts from 75. It fades out when you make 75 or more. So 75 down, you qualify for it. Matilda, you qualify for it. Yes, you qualify for it. So talking of, yes, just because we're senior, just because we're 65 and a half, 65 or more, you qualify for 6,000 single, 12,000 couple. Again, from 2025 to 2028. Again, the season 2026, by year na year jumano 2025. Don't confuse that. So just because we are senior no, we amount no to retirees in a no. But there's a phase out. So we are senior, you make more than 75,000 of income for single, 150 for married couple filing together. You do not have any special, anything special. That special deduction, won't count. And like I said, you do not have to do anything. Automatically, it goes with verify with your social security. So it's on record. We will file it now with more than 65 or more on Sabekawade. And found again, whether I say what time I say, and I say we take standard deduction. Just because you are a senior, you qualify for it. And next one, right. Let's see. Next one, let's talk about one of the best ongoing strategies retirement and medical write-offs. Say a share 2025 contribution. Yeah, I'm talking of retirement, IRAs, 401ks, need those things. You see, you'll be say, why are we talking about that? Account retirement and a medical write-off. You see, 2025 contribution limit increased to 7,000 for IRAs, and a whopping 23,000 for 401ks. When the more than 50, there was a catch-up contribution. The catch-up contribution account. And imagine say we make 100,000. That's all the 20,000. You contribute 20,000 to 401k man right away without say with standard deduction, now taxable income 80,000. It's not make a say account. But a dear back we say so we wrote 401k and none of the tax right away. The 401k would defer and you're free, would defer tax no right now. A time goes, withdraw usika na yato. Said the American, when it comes to wealth building, tax strategies are a part of it. The 401k, IRAs, even though 401k you pay the tax later, right now, I'm waiting you free. If we are self-employed, solo 401ks and except IRAs is there also and see the same. A better time I can also want them. So if we are Juma amount one, you're not off the hook. A blue office or Juma on the initial tier 401k man one you will be amount also you can also contribute to credit the year because those ones no a more we higher and to make more money for yourself. I'll be the more at two accounting. And I say we'll be at two taxable income to be brave. So these are the living things I ever come once. But few ones be a bonus or to say medical one and near can, so medical expenses is still deductible if so spending more than 7.5% of your income. Our medical staff, like hospital, we stay hospital, in name say every with that hospital for a week or so, be cost to be 30,000. So if you're making you're making about 100,000, that I'm talking of the one that is coming from your pocket. Prescriptions, insurance premiums. If those things in now, CD, I will spend more than 7.5 of your income deductible. I told you it's all about taxable income. So the more you deduct, the more money I'll be to make people or pocket. So, and I will hire health deductible health planner. And also you will be able to use measure that person be kind of some ye pa. You will be a friend of health savings account. HSA. One of the most tax efficient tool out there. Why? Because contribution is deductible, growth is free, withdrawals for medical expenses so tax free. My answer was I start upon everything that we get from all these things, kind of free D&D now. SHA is the only thing I free. And then I won't treat tax will be BM. So we use no writer. You won't pay any tax on anything. Which one is better? Filing both personal and business. Usually you filing that together. Yeah, go file both together. Men separate. It depend on your situation. Say your company is very, very big, yeah. Sometimes, and it depends on the type of company. Say LSU, say S corp, say C corp. So nina filing, but most of the time, no, we file it. Yes, we need together. I'll be filing within the same thing. And yet to say a couple of file together, but I'll file it within the same thing. We file your personal, then now why you schedule see na account. But usually in LSC, yeah, say any huge set Walmart near there. Any who sa any VBA na man ipa bebre hon man a simple file na the account. Why you schedule see no account. T yeah matter that's also you say man complicated, yeah, very simple. Yo. Say them kind of question be afatum you be answer this week and then echo and next week no next week so special guest be on so what being what tax then beba I'm on so in na betwetwe nkomo hey so SHA adibia you cut tax free benefit nya no and only the only account tax free and also the only account na nipa be brain take advantage of a health savings account SHA nipa bebree wo adwuma mu ba omo take account omo nte senate say we deductible and I say in fact say o plan you different plans of when it comes to health plan I wo adwuma mu there will be one man we deductible very high. So if we deductible very high, automatically you qualify so betimi SHA one kasa o pa omo nyema ba o pa ubitimi qualify. Companies be crime some for so much me mark depend on any situation say, but most of the time when I was suggest other ubitimi atutu sika at honum every month at honum. Now anything you spend on medical no yet tax free. Ube use sika no mostly be draw card. I'll betimi use sa card no oko hospital oko bia na we use sa card no. This year 2025 a single person, individual, now contribute to 4,300. And as a family, we contribute to 8,550. The good thing is some companies crown esa machi bi mau sad bi kakra sa ka ho most some companies sad and sa mau. Now this type now is a rot pepe. So when you sue it's rolling over. Might be using next year. But there's so many ways we can use this HSA account. A bit me a benefit to way beyond present situation. One, or high deductible, mostly high deductible. That means say insurance or a certain amount I would tria and sana insurance na kicking. In the infant say be we individual say before the insurance company start paying anything for you. I will say be a utria 4,000 or 5,000. It will be one more that anyhow and only right away na 19 na utria insurance 10 na started. But this day until so utria 4,000 maybe and sana kicking. And until the amount of options say remember that 4,000 maybe also it's every month be an usika pay on earnings income no ubetime yi kakra e de ato ho no asa who hospital for saa nneɛma no a wobɛtumi use. Na mmom yɛnte wo tax so use for health reasons nkwa no taxes. But sɛ woanuse a yɛsaa invest saa sika no so ma wo. Sɛ wobɛremember it is most efficient tool a contribution tax free. Because medical expenses tax free. Then the growth is kept by no so no tax free. Nipa bebree use this as a hide taxes over there as a shield. It will treat what maxing the BBA or the because tax free. The good thing is which most people don't know. Ubetimi use wa usika no JSS ka we ato. Use wa usika sa pay medical expenses bia. Na sika we ni invest amount na abe tax free. All the way after 20 years. If we keep this sika we use you keep receipts after 20 years of our retire, we can go back and take all that money back. That time now build the growth amount. After 20 years, into every year be out to me sell the 4,300 for 20 years. We use our own money for any medical expenses. After 20 years, which may use receipts as a build the growth amount. What retire no, we say you say kind of the same as expenses now we use now without so we pay any taxes. Crack is saying it is more like your friend is saying as a Roth. It's more like Roth. The only difference is and we use it for medical expenses and I will retire so we hear those medical money no I bet me abua. The worst a bit me happen can say so when you use it for medical you just pay the taxes off our sikako. In that situation I bear say for 1K. But as much as you beat me gum I'm way you su I show who I be maybe class can crown but you are passing on. It is single individual bet me at the 4,300. Check it. People will bring take advantage of it where you may be your FSA and you different flexible savings account and only you rolling over and you can use soon when you use or you lose it. No, I don't HSA health savings account and you're rolling over, you say invest amount. Everything about health, medical is tax free. Wow, the B2 companies say the kind companies in the blue almost a match to crash amount. Individual 4,300, family for 2025, family 8,550. Talking of family, the next bonus I'm going to home and say speaking of family, the tax, the child tax credit always is also remains very strong. It's now crown a 2,200 from 2,000 per child, 2,200 per child, with up to 1,600 refundable. Meaning, say even if you owe taxes, you can still get money back. And there's still 500 credit for dependents, like college students and also elderly parents. That is still there. I'll be use. Remember, these ones if they see out, whilst income here 200,000 for single filing, your friends couple marriage filing together, and so 400,000. So these are new things about the share, and that's a write-offs about these individual account. But the thing is, when those things and I send a bit see this year. So if you've been filing your taxes for so long, and this year I would advise you So either so be sua more. So I'll try so I'll be file ya, be sua more, no me get it all the write-offs would deserve. So won't there's nothing wrong. So would you even 500 CP and I say and I say a tax preparer, which I know say is very high, 500 very high. Now say we make it 2,000 extra. There's nothing wrong with that. You see, a community no. You can best spend this car, I make this car. You be na be free, but sometimes I was here spending. Because saving you 500. Now you're 2,000. That means when you're 1,500 extra, it be anka wawe ya says he can win ya. So they kind of patri solution. Na wow. Na etimi enya sa right off bia was a saka. Before see very recap na ya hwe nneema you go through ni na no. Mami can be fa say me kind no obi a tax bracket a wo person me show say if say betimi ahwe tax bracket no na say ne sitie. The two ha minim so obi a tax bracket ni. Still you go back to your fancy starting here making 100,000. You tete nyaman bebre no you be drew almost be see fancy the HSC credit side account on side man. We one of you be 20,000 penny be tax also. So now you share this year tax bracket not changing. It changing in same echo. So say 2026 federal tax bracket no. Say first 12,400 no. You took 10%. You see, American is a progressive tax system. That means you see na any back. It's a progressive. The more usika econo, the more your friends say too. Into the emphasis will make 50,000. First, now and that's all taxable income near 50,000. If you are making 100,000 by a tetua manaka be a 70. That means your taxable what deductions new BBA now be 70. That's 70. No, the first 12,400. You better 10%. Now from 12,000 to 50,000, you better 12%. Now from 50,000 all the way to 70, no, you better 22. Into last bracket, no, 22%. Into actuality, if combine that those ones now can now divide here. Most of percentage ankasa pano is around maybe 15 or maybe 16%. That's it. Technically, a total 16%. In you see, can 9 10 or 22, even though the last one was 22%. No, in 9 10 because you're free on money buy. Into the first one, 12,000 10%. And you're single. So finally, head of household, be on one and finally, maybe or dependent be canon. And only a 17,700 and only a 10%. And married filing jointly, 24,000. You know, the first says percentage at also 12,000 if 12,000 to if friends 12,401 to 50,000, and also a 12%. Head of household 17,1 to 67,450, and only see about 12. Now marriage couple filing together, and also 24,801 to 100,800, and also a 12%. So said you the last day you cry a 37%. And only from 640,061 all the way to like a trillion or whatever. We are similar, we are your friend is saying. We are head of household that I say the same. But we are married couple, more finally join me. I know they started free 768,000. See, so we share previous tax bracket now and say reduce kakra. And we share more. And say benefit more make more this year when the bracket is put together. But at the same time, more deduction. And more will be to me. I just will be to me bringing it down. Ama what me more. So as much as you can, try so be to me and yes deductions. I told you again, and I'm telling you again, say it's all about how much you can keep in your pocket. And that depends on what? Your taxable income, baby. If your taxable income will form or taxes will form. Into imagine say my make 50,000. That 50,000, the first 12,000, 10%. 10% no, say 1,240, right? 1,240. The second one, 12%. 12%, no, it's about 12% of your friend is saying 50,000. No, 12% of about those things. No, it will calculate here. Buhuano na tax and pay tax no, it be about 3,000, 4,000 pay. All because you did as much as possible. Say reduce your taxable income legally. So imperative. Say these things no need be out now na tax season aso asana. Also started from the tax year no. It's 2026. Again, na me CPA can na me tax period can na metimi aye betimi abo me ho ban. Ama metimi equip as much as I can. Again, say the make no Patrick Solutions betimi aboa ama taxable income no so akofom legally and yet a friend saying illegal legally eti me hwɛ sɛ metimi you make sure say much as you betimi bia no when it comes to building water where you crew your woman taxes a part of it. You can't do without taxes. Intina ifo no send you see almost try as much say may you almost try as much say almost make sure say almost etua the friends say taxes in front me and can show mo we kakra wa ha taxable income. A flyer to so. These are information I'll be to get in touch with us. Get in touch with us. Bema say them kind of Patrick Solutions. So these are the information I'll be to get in touch with us. I'm going to be about our taxes. This year, make it a point say bit me a claim as smart benefits and as deductions as I will be to me. Please legally and koyo okoha. Yeah, no kwa any mabibri. You share a friend is saying yeah mortgages. This year crash so as much as the ABN in say finances ABB who here pa when it's Patrick Solutions here. Yeah, finance all the time. Quite be fast able to finance. Yeah, see, there's a new wave be a coso. We are see a changing yama bidri. You move all ma. Yen can cray. One this man's try. You may could be free answer. Why? Because that new wave is turning them around. You betray. Then your friend AI. Artificial intelligence. To say ni pabi brejuma, ni pabi brejuma. So many of us, we should the rate near change here. A change a change the way our technology a change in Yamana. So it took so many years, almost like 10 decades, almost like a decade. It is before even internet and one for 1,000 difference in billion started so if because AI within a short time, ChatGPT within a year and a half, almost 2 years, now users number over 1 billion. It tells you that we are all at risk when it comes to job. And yes, the jobs are changing. How are we going to take steps a bit fall within this year? It's next Sunday. Your class by artificial intelligence at the same time, so you start to see class ɛboa me tumi increase your income, ɛbɛboa me tumi sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a yɛn nso yɛ adwuma, because ɛmfo no sɛ ne ɛsi tie biara the rate a nneɛma si kɔ no ɛmfa ho adwuma no change whether you like it or not. Sɛ wiase nneɛma so change a wontumi nka sɛ mɛtena hɔ, wotena hɔ a wiase nneɛma bɛkɔgya wo so tumi dane ho. You see, not long ago ɛna saa de ne siiɛ a ne ɛka kyerɛ mpanyinfoɔ no bi, especially ɔmo di 40, ɔmo di 50, ɔmo bɛ so ɔmo bɛ change because of bɛyɛ ɔmo nyinaa ɔmo yɛ jobless. Yɛ ma saa ɛnto yɛn pɛ sɛ saa bɛto, especially people of our color, and I say especially Africans. That's where our focus ɛwɔ. At 10:09, you better have some next week. Kwame, open so na bisa questions. I meet me am obem. They send no link na open questions here between bisa. We have 5 minutes with me bema. So why you busy? So that's okay. By 10:09 next week, you better want some more. By no most of them no nyeman change can be as it said you making most of them no it's almost the same. So Brem so person bema between them Kwame. So like I was saying, yentimi ntena hɔ, because we shema a wealth transfer na eba no. You see, anytime there's a revolution, you see, wealth is transferred. Now, what's not hɔ diagra ebekɔ agya hɔ. Ye diagra che in the past. This year the enter home is how grown in here. Nti the hu bedom. The hu bedom. Se beya yesu yebetimi sɛnea ɛsi bia no yɛbɛsimi adi mu kan yɛntena hɔ na de bia na aborɔfo no di mu kan kyɛn dabi ɛwɔ sɛ yɛtumi di ɛho dom no nti sɛnea nneɛma si kɔ no deɛ obi ka ɛhuhu na ɛnyɛ huhu sɛ odwuma bɛkɔ ɛhuhu sɛ odwuma bɛkyɛngyi nti gye na nso bɛtumi akyɛngyi na watumi adi akyire na wadi anim kan instead of sɛ babɛdi anim kan ɛmfa ho ne sɛnea ɔsi tie bia woyɛ nurse woyɛ den ɛhu ne sɛ you say me book me so be as true. The also to me position yourself. Say be also be to me at the to ye. Say drew so which heading be drew so. Hey. T next Sunday you become one sem. Hey. Put them.
Oh,
what to make sir?
Oh, good evening. We did say be on here. We did say
friends will be home.
Yeah, we should be at the restaurant.
Okay, so
yeah, now we question and I'm about 10.99 because one thing I said, and no say I naturally because we buy and I said maybe particularly natural margin per say be a freelance and I said or client it your card with 10.99 and like what are the benefits and it's to me also.
The good part is the good thing about 10.99 say most of the time expenses near the bible home major also. If you know to me obviously I take those expenses usually especially so we 10.99 as I would be to cry and I say but like I say me percent can be about 10.99 next Monday you become more about 10.99 me back so very good taxes. They've been doing taxes for so long we stay put especially you see we be royal 10.9 we be more tuber be more so many things freelancer we to idea online those things now ABB also come one so but the whole thing is a big beautiful building so many deductions for OBR this year they said the kind of one share they went to me and claim more legally now because it's there. So often you might book also cry air there also for the so we have to move to a bit my way come on and John why am I doing say this you always will see that Ghana the patch solution about what to me but illegal because this one even a kind of full and you man be also a fade out and I say face out on 2028. So far as I want to also take advantage of it. But see, to answer your question again, 10.99 I come home. But I become one special 10.99. I come once and because I was see a friend say solo 401ks and set for 1k your friend Iris inside the midnight na part of the moment you do you can so handsome a question video one.
Oh, that's it. And then the natural margin.
So that's it. Will be a question maybe on fan to man. I say, you keep the conversation going. With the question be about chira, okay, na man answer ma oh. Next week, say share yenka tax on us in beam. Throughout ekusi na no, ye be boso. Na die iwi kra na echi kra no, die beye a bema tax season 2027 and I said tax year a friend said 2026 nyama was with me sa prepare say be nyama be able boss so a na woni tie bo fa so no to yi tie no e be hwe ne aka so again it's all about how much you can keep no so it comes from your taxable income. The more your taxable income ever form no the more unya be your pocket mo. So it comes to deduction. So your earn income the whole and I'll be free. You need to say earn income yana hard see be a lot of deduction because an the most lower friends deduction a year when it comes to earn income. But this year the MTB Blue Honma yet me at 2 my bit me boy. So we uncle na ye na ye for this year and prepare for next year. This year went me and prepare. So yeah, you know, I would like you to share, like, share, and subscribe. Na enrich it. You may dinner. Bibia a question man. I say, office a benefit to so maybe what done for the benefit. Share common. The catch on so subscribe on so share. Enrich it. We share sana the algorithm about 2 anymore. Baby about the quick mama force. And then again, your tax. Your friends say topic was how the big beautiful bill changed tax write-off for individuals. And Kwame so for individuals. W2 so answer. How the big beautiful bill change tax write-offs for individuals. And then it can't answer. Again, every Wednesday is your high radio. Every Monday your I can see kasem. Wednesday so a paradigm shift. And then for modi friends say omo ye niam bebre ebo omo your friends say need different information, in the name say abrabo ebu na the unim na the bobra. So we see kasem to ya na say that means say the unim no enko yi sa usika ho. Nti so nya bibi a betimi aboa mo change. You see ade ba kwa ya na say the BPC change your life. So at the same time so no MPC be change, you see kasem change so ye niam bi e MPC be change. We say enye yi because that information could tell no can change ya intimi change your life. Paradigm shift omunya information bi kura nya some information muntimi use. The good thing is we teach paradigm shifter omunya some information mutu ho na omudi bibi no e mai kenya also wonya bibi sa kenya ma also start e bibi. So subscribe to Patrick Bear YouTube channel in your paradigm shift every your friends say every Wednesday and say in the live corner later on to share or subscribe make sure spaghetti to alert no so say anytime and as a new video be bano so a bear let know what me again sikasem na wuti high life radio Patrick Bear fee offer say Kwame Fosu na join me ebisa question no it'll be say I will join him ebisa Kwame friends say Kobe Michelle Bia for Matilda Obia Andy Muna Michelle Muna for joining in. Thank you. Next week, Monday, next week yeah, nipa ba so nso abin tax mo tax a check or the tax a check ye. Obeba no so about church name be especially be kind of W2 and those things mean make sure you spend wisely, save intentionally, and be generous. All right, see you. Bye-bye.